So with a conventional loan, you want to make sure that your credit score is at least a 620. There are some lenders that can work with you if it's a little bit less, but typically if you have a 620, I would probably suggest, if you can go this route. The down payment, it's going to be between 5 and 20%. You can pay as much down as you have, right? But typically between 5 and 20%. Conventional loans, they are not government insured. So they're not issued by the government. They are not monitored by the government. It is like a private money loan, okay? Then you have your private mortgage insurance. So this is if you pay less than 20% for your down payment, then you are going to pay private mortgage insurance. That's typically added to your monthly mortgage payment. That will go away once you have 20% equity in your property, right? So once you get to the 20% of the amount of your loan, then the PMI will usually come off.
Right.
And so that's 0.5 to 1.5% a year. And then you have 43 to 45% of a debt to income ratio. The max, or debt to income ratio max. So pretty much Mario can explain that better than I can explain.
Yeah, so that is basically, so the debt to income, debt to income ratio. So when you meet with the lender, they're going to look at the debt to income ratio on the front end and on the back end. So on the front end, they're looking at how much you make as far as your income, but then also if they give you a loan and they'll figure out, for example, how much the monthly mortgage will be, they're going to determine whether or not you fall within that criteria of that percentage as far as like the debt to income ratio on the front end. Now on the back end, they're also going to start looking at your credit card debt. They're going to look at if you have car payments, they're going to look at if you have student loans, things of that nature, and including what your potential mortgage would be, and they will determine whether or not you fall into the criteria. On the previous slide, it did have the 50%. In some cases, they will allow that, but there's a lot of additional stipulation that comes with that. Like you have to have a squeaky clean record of paying your bills over the last few years. There's a lot of stuff that goes with that. And so in some cases, they will allow you to have a little bit higher debt to income ratio, but there are special stipulations that come along with that as well.
All righty. FHA loans?
Yep. So FHA loans are government insured. They, in most cases, the lender will allow you to have a slightly lower credit score, 500 to 579. But with that, you have to put a 10% down payment. 580 plus, you're looking at a 3.5% down payment. So typically, when a lot of people do the FHA loan, they try to stay around the 580 plus range, so they can do the 3.5% down payment. With this, there is a mortgage insurance premium similar to the private mortgage insurance with the conventional, but this is a mortgage insurance premium, and it is required during the life of the entire loan. So this is something that never goes away. And the reason why you have this on the loan is because, again, because it is government insured. They want to make sure that just in case you default on the loan, you get behind on the loan, you default on the loan, this money is going towards paying the lender the amount that was owed on the debt, on the property, on the debt. So that way the lender knows for sure that they're going to get their money. On the front end of the debt to income ratio, you have a 31 to 40% range, and then on the back end, a 43 to 53% debt to income ratio max. So you can see on the back end, it's a little bit higher because, again, they're adding more stuff. And then before we move on, as far as debt, your bills do not count as debt because those are reoccurring things. So your electric bill, your water bill, gas bill, things like that are not considered debt because those are things that you're going to have for a lifetime. As long as you are living somewhere, you're going to have those things. So they don't include that in the debt to income ratio. The property must be FHA approved. And the reason why it has to be FHA approved, because there's a lot of, there's a list of restrictions when it comes to with the FHA when it comes to certain properties. So inspection, that's why inspections are required with an FHA loan, because they are real strict on things being like the electrical outlets need to be properly installed. The pipes in the house need to be up to par. So there's a lot of things that need to be in place in order for it to be FHA approved.
And I just wanted to kind of jump in there when I said with the conventional loan, because it is a private loan versus the FHA loan, that was the reason why I was saying like before that you want to make sure that you are working with a realtor to make sure that someone is telling you that you need to get these things done. So with the inspection, like Mario just stated, if you go conventional, a lot of times nobody's going to push you if you were on your own to get that. With the FHA loan, the government, because this is government insured, they want to make sure that when you get into your home, that it is a livable home, right? So that for that reason, if you are an investor, you can't use FHA loans, because typically if you're investing in a property or you're trying to fix up a property, it does not fall up under this scope, right? It's going to need work.
And plus, if you're an investor, you also can't use an FHA because you have to live in the property for at least 2 years.
That's it. All right. And so there's that. I'm sorry.
Again, so it requires appraisal and inspection contingency. That's just required with the loan. That's a part of the process.